The concept of a model parish under the Assemblies of God was born out of the will to solve a major problem.
It came a time that when the young men from their various institutions, universities, polytechnics, when they are done with their university or higher institution education, they find it difficult to come back to the mother church and to integrate seamlessly as it used to be because of the exposure they've had maybe in their campus fellowship. And because of that, young men and ladies were getting depleted in the Assemblies of God.
This was because the mode of worship at classic local Assemblies of God churches were quite different from the youthful mode observed in campuses. This concern brought about Assemblies of God Model Parish as the solution to the problem. Assemblies of God Model Parish Ileife was established under the leadership of the then DS Reverend Olasumbo Ige and more prominently the then ADS Reverend S.G. Ojo. The church has a first service in the month of April 2011 in the Recreation Center, Lagere, Ileife, Osun State.
About five of us were picked from our various churches then. I was at that time an assistant pastor at Oduduwa Assemblies of God Church, and I was picked. Then Brother Sunday, Deacon Sunday, Patrick was also picked from LA Church. Then the family of Omogene, Frederick Omogene and the wife were also picked from Isale Agbara. Then the pastor Tolu Olabi was picked from Ajebandele, and one of our valuable sisters, Sister Damilola Abiola, was picked from Gateway Assembly. And this were the group of persons that assignment was saddled on to, and the program had to start.
The duties of Reverend S.G. Ojo as ADS was becoming overwhelming, and so he had to step away from AGMP, and Pastor O.C. Ogbonna became senior pastor, which was followed by a transfer of Pastor Professor S. Ojo from the AG Eleyele to AGMP. The population of the Assemblies of God Model Parish comprised mostly university students. This was one of the purposes of establishing the church, but this in itself posed another challenge.
We usually observe that at a particular period in time, the number will have an upsurge. After a while, the number will go down. And why? The question we ask ourselves was, is it that God is not answering prayer? Is it that the church is not doing fine? But we came to realize that there are off and on season then, because the majority of the members then we are students, and when they are in school, we have a large congregation. But when they finish their programs and they are gone, the church tends to thin down. That was the reason why the church had to start to pray and start to work towards having people working in Ife for them to become members of the church. And we thank God for that breakthrough, that the church is now having more of permanent members than the students that used to come and go.
In the year 2013, the church moved from the recreation center at Lagere Ife to the Watchers Hall at Oranfe.
Well, in total, we were about 18 persons, 10 adults and 8 children. That was how we started. Presently, we are an average of between 120, 150, 120, 150. But if we are to aggregate the number of persons who have passed through this ministry, and if they are to be here, would have been around 800. But we thank God for those people who are outside here. They are still ambassadors of the AGMP, wherever they are.
In the year 2022, the church acquired a parcel of land in Oranfe and is set for the groundbreaking ceremony.
The church is a dynamic church, And the preponderance of the membership are youths. And where you have youths, there will be various futuristic ideas that will be propping up. And we are running with that strength to see in the next 2-3 years, we shall have another sister model parish. So that's why we want God to help us to have our own permanent site that we want to finish its building, and we'll move there. Then we'll be able to reach out and have other branches so that the work of the Lord will be expanded. So looking forward, evangelistically, we are looking forward to having other model parishes of the church in the nearest future.
The success the church has recorded over these years is largely due to the commitment and dedication of the members of the church, starting from the pastoral unit to the deaconry or the elders committee or the church board, followed by the Sunday school and the Bible study unit or the leaders there, and the sanctuary keepers, the technical group, the multimedia, the follow-up and evangelism units, the drama unit, the prayer unit, the women department, the men's department, the youth department, all the children teachers and the children department itself, all those who take out their time to come and fix the church, the decorating unit, the editorial unit, and even the musical and the choral unit, all the various units and departments in the church that I may not be able to mention and list all of them had been wonderful. The unity of purpose, the love, the cooperation, and the willingness to serve God without being forced to. These are largely responsible for the recorded successes that we've been having in diverse forms and manner. So we return all praises back to God for picking the people who come here to serve the Lord. And we want to largely thank the members also because they understand and are willing to follow the leadership. It is not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit, says the Lord of hosts. So we thank God for this number of years that we have been working together, and we believe that God will make us work better even as we move to the next level. The church is gradually moving to its permanent site, and we trust God that He will build His church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. May the Lord be glorified, and happy anniversary and happy banquet and end of the year program. God bless you all.